Welcome to Retirement Ramblings. I'm Scott, and today is day 191 on my countdown to retirement. So, this morning I submitted my order for the 17-week T-bill auction scheduled to go off tomorrow at 11 a.m. The last 17-week T-bill went off with an investment rate of 4.355%, and I'm hoping to get at least 4.3% when the auction goes off tomorrow. I guess we'll see what happens, given the decline in rates that we've seen just since the last Fed meeting, with expectations by most market participants that rates will go down, in the September time period. But there are some additional comments from people like Waller today that were indicating they'd be willing to vote for it in the July time period. So only time will tell. But anyway, to try and ladder in the time frames that I wanted, I decided to go with the 17-week. So we'll see what happens. Then I submitted some good till canceled orders on two of my holdings. One that I just wanted to lighten up, and one that I want to liquidate completely. As I try and get my portfolio into the end state before the end of the year, and given that I try to buy low and sell high, and the market is approaching new record highs, I am looking to unload some of the things that I don't consider core as they appreciate here, and then exit, and then I'll just put the earnings that I get out of those back into my core holdings. And then hopefully by the end of the year, I've got everything stabilized where I expect it to be, or where I want it to be, I should say. And then, I'll routinely monitor it, but I don't expect to be doing a lot of changes, on a regular basis once I'm in retirement. I'm hoping that everything will pretty much stabilize, generate either the dividends or income, or appreciate over time the way that I'm projecting, and then that will flow downwards into the various buckets that I have structured for my finances. And then I exchanged text with my mom, and she sent me a picture of the dust wall that they put up in her living room, and they're in the process of using expandable foam to fill in any of the gaps that might happen at the walls or ceilings, or maybe there was a knot hole or something in the wall. But they're trying to fill all those things so that by the end of today, hopefully, all the walls will be sealed, and then they can do all the work they want to do from the outside and not impact her interior living space. So I hope that goes well. And then today is my son's birthday. So in addition to sending him his card and his gift, which he confirmed the other day that he had received, I texted him some birthday wishes this morning. From my perspective, he's going to be the best of my legacy. From doesn't matter what other things I've done in my life or will do, between now and expiration date. From my perspective, he's going to be the best part of the legacy that I leave to this planet. So super proud of him. Anyway, happy birthday to him, and really happy birthday to me, because I'm the one who got the gift. So I'm super happy about that. Then I ran over to Publix to pick up a prescription that I needed to get while I was there. Also picked up one more porterhouse steak, which I ended up making for dinner tonight, along with some corn pierogi soup and other things that my wife needed, and some mild sausages, because the sale on the porterhouse goes off today. And then I finished up whatever work activities I needed, and then I laid down and took about an hour and 3/4 nap this afternoon, because the heat was killing me. And then I looked at the weekly preview ads for protein sales, and that start tomorrow. And this week there's what I consider a pretty limited selection. So at Kroger, the only thing I thought was meaningful was a boneless pork loin that they were going to put on sale at $1.99 a pound. Over at Publix, they've got Hormel Black Label bacon on BOGO, which nets out to $5 each, which isn't a super deal, but it's, way better than their normal pricing. And then they've got their Publix mild pork sausage 20-ounce package on sale for $5.69, so that ends up being $1 off. And then over at Aldi, and I'm going to tell you what they have, but I've never had either one of these, so I can't claim to know whether this is really a good price or not. But they have fresh balsamic, rosemary, and Parmesan peppercorn beef sirloin steak skewers for $6.99 a pound, and fresh Maui pineapple Atlantic salmon on a cedar plank for $10.99 a pound. And then over at Lidl, they've got their butcher specialty fresh whole chicken for 99 cents a pound with the My Lidl app. I've bought many of those in the past, and they're really good. Then they also have wild caught monkfish for $8.99 a pound, and fresh market wild caught skinless cod fillets for $7.99 a pound with My Lidl. Then I ran over to Kroger and I picked up a couple 6-packs of their 16.9 ounce bottles of Pepsi, Coke, and Canada Dry sodas because the sale goes off tonight, and the preview sales don't show any of those on sale going forward. So I wanted to make sure that we would have something in the fridge before the sale ended. So I picked those up. And then I made a porterhouse steak, and I also made some corn, and that was our dinner. And then I went out to the casita where I'm currently at, so I could make it cooler without freezing my wife out of the house. I am just naturally, I'm going to just say hot-blooded, but really our individual temperatures are really different. She's usually cold and carries a sweater with us pretty much anywhere we go. Meanwhile, I'm almost always hot, unless it's really pretty cold outside. And by way of example, like I sit outside in a short sleeve shirt, when it's in the upper 40s and the low 50s, and I'm very comfortable. And in fact, when we went to Alaska, I left the cabin door open, which we were in a balcony. So I was able to leave the sliding glass balcony door open, and it was like 50 to 55 degrees outside, and I slept fantastic. And she had a bunch of blankets on top of her, and I used a single sheet, and that was it. I just was super comfortable in that temperature. Anyway, when it gets to the low to mid 70s, that's where I start getting real, I'll call it slightly uncomfortable. And once it gets above 80, I start to be really uncomfortable. And then days like today, where it was in the mid to upper 90s, make me miserable. And I'll show you a picture. Like when I got in my truck to run out before noon, it was 97 degrees. And just getting in the truck, starting it, having the AC on full blast didn't matter. Like I was just dripping. And I just hope tomorrow, because I got to go into the office, it isn't a repeat of today with regard to the heat, because I am just miserable when that's the temperature. And even when I get to the office, in general, our office stays somewhere in the mid 70s. So, and again, I'm neutral to mildly uncomfortable in that temperature range, whereas everybody else on my hallway is freezing, and it's just the way it is. And because I thought it was pretty abnormal relative to other people around me, I've been to endocrinologists, and I've had them run all kinds of tests to see what is it. It's just my internal core temperature just stays in the 97 degree range. So most people are 98.6 or whatever. Mine's lower, and I just feel the heat for some reason way worse than most people do. Anyway, that's my update for today. If you have any questions or any comments, please leave them in the comment section down below. Things like how you affected heat, Or drop me an email at myretirementramblings@gmail.com. Otherwise, I look forward to talking with you again tomorrow. And until then, take care.